Because of the obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens, and because of the crisis which is even now developing, this radio station will remain on the air day and night.
Officials and newsmen at first discounted those eyewitness descriptions as being beyond belief. However, the reports persisted.
Listen to them. Children of the night. What music they make.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to Boogeyman Radio. I'm David, and this guy, that is Charles. Sir Charles.
I am Charles.
I'm just going to call you Sir Charles, just like
Sir Charles.
Charles Barkley, right? Sir Charles.
I don't know. Was he knighted?
I really don't know either. I don't know.
Yep. All right, then.
I just pulled my mic closer. Hope that does okay.
Sounds good to me.
Tonight we are talking Dogman. We've got a lot of Dogman accounts, like stories and experiences people have had, and we're also going to be talking a little bit about like how it came about and what could it be, all this other good fun stuff. Creepy cryptid, for sure.
Yeah, we don't. I've noticed that we haven't talked about cryptids that much on the channel.
Yeah, I think maybe 4 times in a year, almost a year and a half,
something like that. Yeah, I figured it was about time talking about cryptid.
What's up, Kelly? Glad you could join us.
Kelly.
But yeah, so trying some new things. We are streaming on Twitch now, which is awesome.
Yes.
So if you don't like using YouTube, if you want to watch us on Twitch, you can see us at it's twitch.tv/ I'm guessing Boogeyman Radio.
Yeah, actually, I'll be able to tell you here real quick.
Okay, while you're doing that, I'll
it's twitch.tv/ Boogeyman Radio.
Okay. You can catch us on there as well. If you're watching on there, well, welcome. Please follow us. And if you don't like watching us on Twitch, you can watch us on YouTube. Hey!
Bringing you multiple platforms to be able to watch our content. It's great.
Absolutely. So there's that. I recently made my own Twitch, and we were up a little bit last night trying to get myself situated on there. What
was that, like 2, 3 a.m., something like that?
Yeah, about 3 a.m., 3:30 when we got off here. Gonna try streaming some games and stuff, so I think that'll be fun.
He's got a lot of free time on his hands.
I do. Now that I quit my job, I'm like, what am I?
Give me something to do.
So yeah, that's going on. Still working on that. Got to get a camera for my damn PS4.
Well, that might help.
Yeah, it'll make me feel better.
PlayStation's up.
Yeah, it's fickle.
Well, I mean, it's funny. Xbox will let me use pretty much any web games, but PlayStation, you have to use PlayStation cameras.
Yep, sucks balls, but gonna have to do it anyway. Like I said, it'll make me feel better about the stream. So
yeah,
we'll get into that.
But Dave, you want people to see you? Oh my god!
Right. Well, I mean, it makes it more appealing, I think, for viewers to see who they're watching, see who's playing and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's more engaging.
Oh, 100%. Way more engaging if you have a camera.
So, there's that. Got news on the paranormal Paracon front.
What is it?
Josh Hurd will not be playing the concert.
What?
Yeah, he's didn't really give me a reason. He just said he was only going to be able to make it down for Friday. Mm-hmm. Which isn't the concert, so I'm like, I mean, the meet and greet time period is from noon to 5, so I mean, coming down for one day all the way from Iowa probably wouldn't be worth his time.
Probably, yeah.
So I'm going to be looking for another band to open up for Randall Shreve.
Okay.
So there's that. Kelly asks, okay, not related, so forgive for asking, but been in the hospital and off the grid a bit. Are you filming another Spooklight film, Dave? No. Not a Spooklight film. I do have another film.
Let's say a film, but not Spooklight film.
I have something on the horizon that I'm going to be going off to film this fall. Hence the post, but it does have something to relate to those two films that I filmed previously. So something is amiss. Something is working. I will, when the right time comes, I will make an official announcement about it. But like,
don't make him jump the gun. Jeez, Kelly.
Oh my god.
Something like that. Can I have your thoughts?
What about you, Charles? What's going on in your world?
Oh, not a whole lot. Solid weekend, nothing crazy. It's a nice break from work. Just craziness. Got to take a lot of time off. Hopefully work will let me take it off, aside from the actual like vacation time in September. But got a friend getting married, so I got to take time off for that in October, and a bachelor party, so I got to take time off for that.
A couple days.
Just a lot of random like September and October is just going to be insane as far as busyness goes. So I'm ready. I'm like it's a good busyness. Like it's not the kind where it's like work and wear out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's more of like I'm definitely choosing to do all this on my own, so I'm very excited to do it. I need to get my bike to the shop. I need to call my motorcycle guy tomorrow and just get it ready for some September and September and October riding.
Yes.
So it hasn't really been in the shop in like a few years anyways, so I just want to get it in, make sure it's good to go. The shifting seems a little off, so I want to make sure the linkage is all good. But man, other than that, no, it's been a pretty good weekend. Yeah, can't complain.
Howdy ho to Denise over at the Paranormal Pride.
Yeah,
Let me go.
Hey, bro.
Kelly, are you still working on the family murder thing, or hit too many dead ends? Pretty much hit too many dead ends, and some potential legal complications that could arise. I just kind of want to steer clear of. So at the moment, like, who knows? Something might happen down the road, but at this point, I'm like 10% sure that it would ever get filmed. So that's pretty much fallen down the wayside. Now I did have people that like contributed to the film monetarily, which their contributions are going to go towards this thing.
The new film. Yeah.
So that way I'm not wasting people's money or anything.
Well, yeah, no, makes total sense.
So yeah, I can't wait to actually get out there and do this film because like I'm getting antsy.
When's the time off for the filming?
To go film, I'm probably going to do it in October after the Paracon.
Smart.
That way, be coming down from the whole Paracon thing, can take some time away from everything and just go do my thing.
Just do your own thing.
And plus, certain people that are involved will still have the time off to come and film with me.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll be awesome.
I had an encounter with a crypto monster near Westline back in December. I was watching the show last night, and I heard you talking about it again. You did mention it on here before about your experience, but
near Westline? That's where I'm from, Dave.
Yeah, they watched something like across the road in 3 steps.
Okay, that does sound familiar. I think I remember Ron talking about it, maybe. I don't know.
So yeah, there's that. She had Carter Bushcart on her show last night, who is going to be speaking at the Paracon this year. Very well-spoken guy. I like his ideas. I like the way he approaches everything. So it was good to see him on a podcast, like talking about things. Can't wait to hear what he's got in store for the Paracon.
Like your Paracon, he's going to be there?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Shame it didn't work out. It seemed like an interesting story. It's a extremely interesting story, but who knows? Like I said, something may get put together down the road. So
yeah. something that's on the back burner doesn't mean necessarily gone forever.
Right. Real quick, guys, before we jump into our actual show about the Dogman, just want to remind you, if you want to catch more of our show after this show, we go to patreon.com, Boogeyman Radio. That's where we continue on our After Dark show. $2.49 a month. You get full access to the After Dark, which means double the shows. And then if we do any extra videos, like if we go investigating or, we film something like just a little side piece, we throw it on there first. Sometimes that's the only place where you can see things. So for less than a gallon of gas a month, you get extra content. And that helps support us and helps this show keep going. So we appreciate everybody that is already a Patreon member. And if you're not, you can head over there after the show, sign up, and catch some more shows, some goodness. And we also let our hair down there. This is where we kind of relax on things a little bit more. People get more information out of us.
Yeah,
absolutely. Regarding projects too. So,
I mean, we watched a couple. We watched an episode of Haunting History, and we watched a partial episode.
Oh yeah, that's something that we were going to start doing. More like going back through the old episodes and start watching them with our patrons.
Well, and we did find out too, you guys, that on Twitch we can actually do watch parties.
Yes.
With Amazon, so we could watch movies and TV with you guys if you ever wanted to subscribe over to our Twitch, or if you ever wanted to follow/subscribe over at our Twitch, we can stream movies and just we could watch movies, react, and if you like movie TV commentary, that's the perfect thing to do, or music video stuff too. But we have to figure out what the copyright is for the music. So yeah, good times.
But at least on the Patreon page, if we since we talked about doing this, watching the old episodes of Haunting History, we can do commentary. I can do commentary on it as well, especially some of the behind the scenes information that about these locations and stuff.
Or little Easter eggs that you put inside your that people that are not known to people. Yeah.
Hell, just this last week, you guys got to see. Was it last week or the week before? You guys got to see a video that I'm working on. That's not going to be on Haunting History's YouTube channel.
I've slept since then. I can't remember.
The abandoned hospital video.
Yeah, that was an awesome place.
Yeah, cool. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to show a little commercial break, and then we'll come back and we'll start in on the Dogman. So don't you go anywhere. We will be right back. All right. So tonight's topic, we are talking about the Dogman. It's a cryptid that, I don't think a lot of people really touch on.
I mean, if you think about it, though, we'll get into it, but there's many different versions of what a Dogman could be or is. Right.
And the majority of sightings that I've read seems to come out of the Midwest and a few out in the Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily like an East Coast thing, like Bigfoot, like where that's a prominent thing over there. This is strictly East to Midwest. So,
which is wild.
Well, I was gonna say, you want to tell everybody the origin for Dogman? Yeah. That'd be
the way the origin story goes, which we'll kind of just go into. Give me a second here. Oh, that's the origin theory, so we don't want that yet.
We'll discuss
Come
that.
on. All right, so just real quick, we'll go over what is a Dogman, right? It's a cryptid, which is an animal or non-animal like Sasquatch or Buddha that has been claimed to exist but never officially documented. Cryptids aren't necessarily supernatural. Sightings of various cryptids have been reported for a long time. So, a Dogman, the different kinds of Dogman, they're definitely bigger than humans. Some range from 8 feet to 10 feet. Let's see here. The Dogman itself, I think, is supposed to be around 8 feet tall. And then, where is it at? The Beast of Bry Road, I think, is supposed to be around. It's supposed to be about 8 feet. And then the Michigan Dogman is supposed to be around 10 feet. So, different, like I said, different size and variations. It's considerably bigger than a freaking wolf. I would say it's probably closer to the size of a dire wolf, an extinct wolf.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know what those are, highly recommend you check it out. But Dogmen have been encountered and sighted all over North America and around the globe. Although they look like they're werewolves of lore and movies, they're not werewolves. They are believed to be a species with both human and canine attributes. Because of the similarities between the species of Homo sapien and Canidae, I don't know. It's saying they will also be referred to as Homo canidae, which is human dog.
Huh.
Dogmen have been reported by eyewitnesses to be very muscular, as tall as 10 feet in height when standing bipedally. They have a human-like form from shoulder down to the knees. They do not have front paws, but instead they have elongated hands like humans with long fingers. There are sharp claws on the fingertips.
This reminds me, have you ever seen the movie Dog Soldiers? It's like
No.
a British film, but it's like a kind of like a werewolf film, though. But the creatures that they have in that right there is what I think of whenever I hear the word Dogman. Huh. This description fits it perfectly, 10 feet tall and muscular. Yeah, dude. Wow. That's something we'll have to watch on Twitch.
Yeah. So they can walk and run on all fours and or as well as bipedally. In fact, many eyewitness reports state that when a Dogman goes from standing on all fours to standing on two legs or vice versa, a loud popping sound is heard from the joints. The sound is thought to be the joints of the creature assimilating or acclimating to each mode for walking or running. And they're just what? Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say it's kind of like it's dislocating and then
the bones, it's readjusting itself. Right. So there's also female species too.
I was gonna ask, if anybody's ever dislocated a bone, does that actually hurt? The dislocation? Yeah,
that shit hurts.
Does it?
I've dislocated a bone. It freaking hurts.
Because
I actually dislocated my fingers several times.
I had a friend in high school who could dislocate his wrist and spin his hand almost all the way around, pretty much.
Well, it just depends, because I would say the 3 or 4 times it hurts, but eventually you wear that socket out so much that it can just pop in and out. I had a buddy of mine, he'd play football, and unfortunately he would frequently pop his shoulder out, and it got to the point where all he'd have to do is smack it on the field. Literally he'd be laying on the ground and he'd just pop it back into place by hitting it on the freaking field. So coach had to pull him out because it could make it worse, So yeah, that stuff's crazy, man.
So the difference between Dogman and a werewolf is a werewolf was somebody that was human that transforms into basically a Dogman.
I would say it's a human that transforms into a wolf.
Yeah.
As where a Dogman is just a creature. There's no transformation. Yeah.
So
there's no transformation. It has human attributes already. Its hands are more like a hand shape and not a paw shaped, like a dog.
Right.
So, so the female species, dog women, have also been sighted, but not as often as their male counterparts. Some dog women are described as having multiple breasts or teats that run down the front of their torso, which makes sense because it goes along with dogs.
Yeah.
Juveniles have been seen as well, either being supervised by the adult, male or female. Juveniles are said to have a puppy look on the face, the same way a young dog or wolf does. Juveniles are often described as having extremely large hands and paws that they grow into. They are also said to be shorter than adults, as some juveniles have been described to be about 4 to 5 feet tall. That's freaking massive.
Yeah, even for a juvenile, it's pretty big.
Now, there's 2 main types of dogmen, but was there anything else you wanted to talk about?
No. Before you, well, I can do mine after you get in there, because what I've got is a little bit of origin for Michigan, since you brought up Bray Road.
Yeah.
This is I've got an origin for the Dogman in Michigan, and
That's
it's
perfect.
basically the first sightings in the U.S. kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I'm gonna describe the types, and we'll get into that. So there's two different main types. There's the canine type dogmen are described to have the head of a wolf or dog, and the upper torso with the physique of a human. The arms are long, and the elongated hands have claws. The thighs are human-like, but the lower legs are reversed like that of a canine. The feet are large with claws and resemble that of a wolf. They come in a variety of colors and are often said to have a tail. The various canine types look like this to a degree, but can vary in many ways. Some are described as having oversized heads, and then type 2 dogmen are said to be similar to the canine, but have a head like a hyena instead.
Yeah.
And then there's type 3 dogman is described as having an upper torso and legs like a human, with very long arms. The face resembles that of a wolf or dog, but muzzles tend to be shorter and not as pronounced. The snout at times can resemble the snout of a baboon. They are not said to have a tail. Type 3 dogmen can come in a variety of colors and are often confused with Sasquatches or apes because of the body style. However, this is not the case with Type 3. Type 3 dogmen have claws on their hands and feet, while Sasquatch, apes, and humans have fingernails. Type 3 dogmen are not as often seen by eyewitnesses as the canine types, which I can see why.
That description of a hyena look to the head, I think that to me would be more terrifying, because if you think about a hyena, there's a lot of muscle from the head to the shoulders, and it's like a hunch basically from head to shoulder.
Yeah.
That I think visibly would be more terrifying than just the head.
Yeah, absolutely. No thanks.
Now you did bring up Bray Road, and I'm not going to get into Bray Road specifically right now, but one of the origins for the U.S. at least is that the first dogman sighting was reported in 1887. So this goes back a ways. And this happened in Wexford County, Michigan. The creature was described as being 7 foot tall, blue-eyed or amber-eyed, which I don't know how you can confuse the two colors because they're completely opposite. But it was a bipedal canine-like animal with the torso of a man. And they heard it howl, and they've heard it scream like a human. According to legends, the Michigan Dogman, it appears in a 7-year cycle. So every 7 years is whenever it comes to feed, I guess. I don't know. Sightings have been reported in several locations throughout Michigan, primarily in the northwestern part of the Lower Peninsula. In 1987, the legend of the Michigan Dogman gained popularity when a disc jockey named Steve Cook recorded a song about the creature and its reported sightings, and from there it kind of took off as far as popularity. So maybe this is for the After Dark show, but how do they come about?
Well, we were going to talk about theories and origins, I think, in the After Dark.
Yeah, right? I mean, we're going to talk more about it, but some of the topics, I mean, we can we'll save for the After Dark as well. But you know, that is a possibility. You know, people go missing all the time.
Raised by wolves.
So the 7-year cycle though,
Just
like
leave that hanging there.
the 7-year cycle thing, it finds me a little peculiar because it's like, why would it come back every 7 years if not staying here? How would it disappear? Why would it disappear?
Yeah.
I mean,
Great question.
is there some intelligence to it that is potentially human-like or humanoid-like?
I mean, if it's smart, probably.
I mean, hiding out, probably anymore, depending on where these are located. Like I'm sure a lot of it, especially when you're talking about the Appalachian Mountains, like there's a lot of that mountain range that is not explored. Has never been explored. It's untouched. Who knows what's living out there?
Or in there.
Yeah. Could be a wrong turn situation. I mean,
Cannibals.
Yeah, inbred cannibals. That's a thing. It's a thing still, even to this day.
Not just in Texas. I mean, what?
Yeah. Shit. You know, funny story. I guess it's funny or sad, depending on how you look at it. The guy I used to work with, his girlfriend and him had 2 kids, and turns out that was his cousin.
Yeah.
And they were trying to get married, but they can't because they're related.
Did they know that they were related eventually?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they knew it from the get-go.
Wait, they knew from the get-go they were related?
Yeah. Yep. So he wasn't the smartest guy either.
Was he in Arkansas? Because that makes a lot of sense.
On the border of Arkansas and Missouri.
Stereotypes.
They exist for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying.
It's not just in Alabama, folks. Arkansas's. I mean, and I feel bad because Arkansas is so gorgeous. Like, the land structure and shape of Arkansas is... But...
Yeah, and honestly, like, that's... Yeah, they have 2 kids. Cassie. And has kids?
And has kids?
They've got
kissing
kids.
cousins. It brings kissing cousins to a whole new meaning.
So I feel bad for the kids in that situation.
I do too. What's up, cuz? I mean, brother. Yeah, exactly. You know, you're a redneck when you go to a family reunion looking for a date.
I think that's called
Jeff
speed dating.
Foxworthy joke right there.
Not a family reunion, it's speed dating.
Oh yeah. Oh God. Ugh.
Ew, Grandma.
But if it's like your 8th cousin,
like 8th as in
like
8th on the line, or 8th?
Yeah. No, God.
This is my 8th cousin. Oh, so you guys are basically not related. No, we're
in
related.
the family, and he gets around.
Man.
Jesus Christ. Oh, man.
Cousin, daddy cousin. Uncle Daddy over here got me pregnant again.
I'm my own grandpa. What?
Yeah.
What? Oh, God. The life.
Yeah. But there's, you were hitting on something in your piece there about there being other things that this Dogman could be attributed to or mistaken for, even like different mythological creatures or other cryptids. Bigfoot could be, or they could be mistaken for Bigfoot, as you said. How about the Ozark Howler?
Yeah, good point. Yeah,
I mean, nobody really gets a good look at it.
Beast of Bry Road, the Wereman. You just never know. I
started thinking of Zoolander.
Dogman.
I was thinking of Zoolander whenever he was in the bar after working in the mines, and his commercial came on, and he's like, "My God, my son's a mermaid, merman."
It's a merman, not a mermaid. I mean, if you want to go back to like like way back.
Go way back.
You had skinwalkers too. You want to go back to our last week's topic? Some people see skinwalkers as wolves or wolf men or whatever.
Exactly.
And then throughout, well, to me, one of the most famous ones that I would say is a dog/human. Not a lot of people talk about today because it's in mythology, but Anubis of ancient Egypt. That's a wolf dog, or it's a dog man deity.
Yeah.
So, there's that. Which I actually had something I was going to read about that, but I can't remember where it's at now. So, oh well.
Real quick, speaking of Twitch and all that, and ancient Egyptian stuff, like my Twitch handle, I was surprised I couldn't get it. Like even variations of it, I was gonna my Twitch handle and everything was going to be Hand of Osiris.
Ooh.
Surprisingly, somebody had already taken that. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me!
Oh, son of a bitch!
That's a great name, man. Osiris is the one that weighed the heart and the feather. Basically, was the judge, whether you're going to the other world or whatever.
Osiris was the okay, yeah. That makes sense. So, real quick, we want to talk about like different descriptions throughout history of that could be pertaining to a dog man.
Yes.
Theologians, Carolingian Ratramnus, which is in the 9th century. Ratramnus was written a letter by a missionary named Rembert, who was staying in Scandinavia, inquiring as to whether the cynocephali, the dog-headed men, had souls. And he was talking about dogmen and if they had souls in this ancient writing, and that was in the 9th century. So, holy cow, way back. I just said Anubis, so there's that. Historian Marco Polo, 1771, 95 AD. Angamanian is a very large island. The people are without a king and are idolaters and no better than wild beasts. I assure you, all the men of this island have heads like dogs and teeth and eyes likewise. In fact, in the face, they are all just like big mastiff dogs. They have quantity of spices, but they are a most cruel generation and eat everybody that they can catch. If not of their own race, they live on flesh and rice and milk and have fruits different from ours. The Travels of Marco Polo, Book 3, Chapter 13. A Greek doctor, Ctesias Sinitis, late 4th century BC, right? You got that Ctesias Sinitis? Better go see the doctor. He'll give you some of that good fix. Anyways.
A sinus infection or
right?
Like a foot thing?
Exactly. On these mountains there live men with the heads of dogs, whose clothing is the skin of wild beasts. They speak no language but bark like dogs, and in this manner make themselves understood by each other. Their teeth are larger than those of dogs. Their nails have those of these animals, but longer and rounder. They inhabit the mountains as far as the river Indus. Their complexion is swarthy. Gee, or swarthy. I don't even know what swarthy is. I don't know what that is, but I'm guessing it's something crazy.
No shit.
Right? They are extremely just, like the rest of the Indians with whom they associate. They understand the Indian language, but are unable to converse, only bark or making signs with their hands and the fingers by way of reply, like the deaf and dumb. They are called by the Indians Kalistri, and Greek Cynocephali. They live on raw meat. They number about 120,000. That was in the book, it was in Indica, chapter 72. Isidore of Seville, around 636 A.D. Cynocephali are so called because they have dogs' heads, and their very barking betrays them as beasts rather than men. And that was on human monstrosities etymologies section. So the fact that this stuff was written about, but I've never even heard of these kind of things. So
This
it's
island,
yeah.
I'm gonna have to maybe on the After Dark, look up that island, see where that's supposed
So
to
then
be.
it makes
I'm
you think:
sure
is like,
it's
did these people just make up stories to sell in their books, or could this
maybe.
stuff actually possibly have existed at one point?
I mean, could be a Orson Welles kind of thing, where they just make up
Well, I
a
mean, it's like,
fantasy and
yeah, I mean, it's like Atlantis. Some historians swear that it exists, but how do we know it's an actual real place, right?
and then they write books about it, and then people buy those books because they've attained this level of superstardom.
Credibility.
In those times,
Well,
any
yeah.
explorer was a superstar. You know,
Did you ever watch this perfect example of this? Did you ever watch the Hercules movie with The Rock? Did you ever watch that?
No.
Dude, it is a great twist on the story of Hercules.
Huh.
It's so good. Basically, it's like he has this bard that travels with him and tells all these grand stories, and they make up these great feats and amazing things when he's actually just a normal person.
Mhm.
And like eventually by the end of the movie, of course, he does actually some pretty intense, crazy stuff. But it's just like, no, he's not really the son of a god. He's just a person roaming from town to town, faking great deeds and having great stories written about him. And it's just like, that's an interesting take, but it was really well done. I thought it was a great movie.
So, over the years, there's been sightings of Dogman. I think we can get into some of these
Yeah, let's get
sightings
into sightings.
and evidence. I mean, there's been photographic evidence, some that's pretty blurry. I mean, this one is a pretty interesting photo. Kind of, to me, it looks like an alligator climbing up on something, but the snout on it looks too narrow. There's been photos. This almost looks like a bear, but that snout and the fur type on the head, I don't know. It's almost canine like. Like even the nose point right there. And then the most modern Dogman sighting.
Yes.
Had to throw it in there.
Amazing.
But some of these sightings and accounts, they go back to the early 1900s. One of the earlier accounts that I found was from 1936 in Racine, Wisconsin. It was one of the first Dogman sightings to take place around the Great Lakes. Took place in Racine, right on the west coast off of Lake Michigan and near the border of Illinois. A man by the name of Mark Shackleman was working as a night watchman for the St. Coletta Convent in 1936. You know, if a convent really need to have watchmen, what the frick were they doing at that convent?
No shit.
They making booze. One night during his rounds, Shackleman saw a canine-looking, black-furred and carrion-smelling creature with what he described as long claws. The Dogman was kneeling and scratching at an indigenous people's burial ground near the convent, but he fled as soon as Shackleman approached to investigate. He returned the next day to only find footprints and claw marks, although apparently 2 of the fingers seemed to be withered from what the night watchman could tell from the markings. Shackleman, scheduled to work 2 nights in a row, went back the next night, and once again he witnessed the creature scratching at the mound. However, this time the animal didn't run away. It stood up 6 feet tall and made eye contact with Shackleman, and then it spoke. It was only one word, though less of an actual word and more of a name: Gadara. The night watchman summoned up his courage and refused to run away. He simply maintained eye contact before praying to God, turning around and walking slowly away. The Dogman sneered at Mark, still staring menacingly, but didn't move. Mr. Mark Shackleman never saw the creature again, though he did often smell the dead meat scent. I'm curious about this Gadara name.
I'm too.
I'm gonna look this up real quick. Gadara. Wikipedia says in some text was an ancient Hellenistic city for a longtime member of the Decapolis City League, a former bisphoric and present Latin Catholic titular. What? Its ruins are today located. Okay, so it was a city, and it's an ancient city.
Cool.
All right. Was situated in a defensible position on a ridge accessible by the east, but protected by steep falls on the other three sides. It was well watered and with access to the Ain-Casis spring and cisterns during Hellenistic and Roman periods. Gadara was a center of Greek culture in the region, considered one of its most Hellenized, and enjoying special political and religious status. Okay. And this is like it in the BCs.
Yeah.
So, you know what you were talking about with the ancient texts mentioning these creatures? I mean, that's a pretty good tie-in right there. That's pretty convenient.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is a true story, if this Mark guy had any context or any knowledge of ancient Greece. I mean, it was a convent there, so maybe he learned something from the nuns if it was a Roman Catholic kind of thing. I don't know.
Right. Possible.
But that's interesting.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Very.
Because we look at a lot of these cryptids as if they could be, you know, alien or, you know, interdimensional being or something like that, or just like a primitive animal that has always been around.
Yeah.
And let's say if it was interdimensional, could that be a time jump kind of thing? Could it be like a time traveling ordeal?
Always lead back to this question, huh?
Or, well, they say like multiple dimensions or spaces in time run parallel to each other. So like if I'm right here in the present, to my left could be 20 years in the past, to my right could be 20 years in the future, running along the same parallel. And if, say, the tips touch and cross, I
Never
experience
touch
the
tips.
future. You experience the future or you experience the past. And could that be what's happening? Are these creatures from mythological times crossing in?
Maybe. And it makes you think, like, why can't dragons do that stuff?
Yeah, damn it. Or maybe they have. Maybe they have.
You just don't see them.
Yeah.
You don't hear about any more dragon attacks around the world.
I mean, not really. You know who's
Flutter
fault?
dragon, maybe. But maybe.
It's Cassie's fault that we don't hear any more dragons.
Yep. Oh, okay.
Probably a good thing, though.
She keeps them at bay. But it is very interesting. This whole, like, they've had possible writings and sightings of Dogman style creatures for a long time. I mean, shoot. What, like, could you imagine if someone back, like, let's say ancient Rome, ancient Greece, whatever, say like a homeless person, really hairy.
Yeah.
You know, lost their mind.
Well,
just went rabid.
Think about those werewolf trials and stuff, the way that people were being accused and accosted because of certain things, certain elements kind of pertain to this, but you know, these people weren't necessarily, or these entities aren't necessarily human.
Yes. One thing that did surface.
We got 15 minutes left. I want to show something for everybody. If you want to look at some of the stuff on your own, a website that I have found that I'm going to share here has got some interesting stuff.
Was this the thing you were wanting to talk about?
The North American Dogman Project?
No, not that. Okay.
Oh, no.
No, the thing you wanted to, yeah.
No. So this is the website for the North American Dogman Project. It's the website is NorthAmericanDogmanProject.com. It's cryptid dogman research, and they have this evidence tab that they've got a few audio pieces. I'm going to play these audio pieces for you. They have all these pictures, and we'll go through those here in just a second. But I want to play these audio pieces because, I want you to think back to like the Ozark Howler stuff that we looked at and listened to. Because some of these kind of sound in a way the same.
Yeah.
But you also kind of have to keep in mind that Dogman is a canine, sort of, right? It's canid.
Yeah.
So we have to keep that in mind when we hear these audios. So I'm going to play, these are supposedly some audio clips that were captured of Dogman. This first one's from Bellbrook. I'll just go ahead and play it.
So there's some things we want to do. We want to straighten things out historically. Did you just hear that? What the fuck? What was that?
Right? Sound like a dinosaur in the background. This next one, this is Cincinnati. I'm guessing around the Cincinnati area. But I'm just going to play it, and then I'll say my piece.
Yeah.
It definitely sounds canine.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're capturing this around Cincinnati, that's a very populated area.
Yeah.
I mean, that could just be a dog. It could just be a dog. Like, we don't know exactly where these were. Like, is it
Right,
the
we
woods
really
near? The last one is from Dayton, Ohio, I guess. Sounds very similar.
Dayton, Ohio. Damn.
Better than dating your cousin.
Yeah.
Got him.
Did there.
So this one right there, just to me, I don't know if you've ever heard an elk bugle, like an elk call, but it kind of sounds like a mix between that and a howl. It's got like this weird shriekiness to it, but like, I don't know. Again, we don't know like the situations, the circumstances, the environment that these were captured in. So
Yeah.
And as far as like the photo evidence, mind you, some of this might be a little graphic. This was a weird photo that was captured out there. I don't know how big that's. Yeah, it's tiny on here. But you guys you'll manage. You'll live. The little figure back there in the back, but this is the figure that they were pointing out. Kind of looks canine, but it also kind of looks like a bear standing up.
Man, bear, pig. What?
Ooh, that'll be the next cryptid we talk about.
Man, bear, pig.
Man, bear, pig. Man, bear, pig. I mean, it does like, even though it's shadowy and everything, it does look like it has like pointed ears. Whereas a bear,
I can see where there's yeah.
But is that a product of pixelation?
True.
Some other interesting things were these footprints. This one in particular.
Whoa.
I'm guessing this would be like the back or the front foot, probably, because based off of your description, the back feet were more paw-like, but the front had like the more elongated claw-like features. That's what this looks like, and there are several of these photos pertaining to this form, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
And the glove's pretty good indicator of size.
Oh yeah.
Pretty decent. Here's another
That would be
potential paw print or front claw, whatever you want to call it. Some of these photos include animal attacks. If you're squeamish, I mean, I wouldn't look at this. I guess a horse got attacked and got gashed pretty damn bad.
Oh, is that what that is? I can't tell. It's very small.
Yeah, I know. My apologies. You know what? Here, let's do this.
Honestly, the normal picture by itself was way better than the clicked on one. When you clicked on it.
Thought I had it on here. I didn't have it on here.
Oh no.
Let's see if this looks any better. I'm doing it this way. There you go.
Oh yeah, okay, I see it.
It's a pretty brutal gash. Like, what animal in the wild would cause that to a horse?
Bear.
Man, bear, pig?
Just saying.
Do you think I don't think a cougar would do that. Because the one thing I will say, a cougar will go for the throat. So that's one thing that this has going for it. It looks like a neck attack.
It's not teeth though. That's claw.
Yeah. But what has claws big enough to do that to a horse?
I don't know.
If in fact that is an attack, it could be maybe the horse got caught up on something or there was some kind of accident. We don't know the construct of the picture. We don't know the circumstances surrounding it. But you had one a sighting that you were going to read.
Yeah, I had a sighting I was going to read for real quick.
Yeah.
Comes from WAPost. No, sorry, not WAPost. Nepost.
Post.
I've actually had a bunch of sightings. I found a website that has like a sighting in almost every single state. It's pretty freaking sweet. So
let's do the New York Post one.
That's what I'm going to do, yeah. We'll save the other sightings for the After Dark.
Yes.
So man claims he was stalked by a terrifying Dogman monster in Australia outback. So, a man has bizarrely claimed he was stalked by... Well, we already said that. Even says he has a picture to prove it. The fisherman called John... Fisherman called John.
John the Fisherman? Really?
John the Fisherman. Yep. Wildly claims he was left petrified for months after encountering the supposed half-dog, half-man creature on 2 separate occasions. Speaking on the Believe Paranormal/UFO podcast, the Aussie insisted he was followed by what he has branded Dogman and claims he thought he was going to be killed. This is no Batman. They're not, he's not there to help you. John was fishing from his kayak on Boxing Day. What the fuck is Boxing Day?
It's Australian.
Fucking Australians. All right, last year when he says the first incident happened, I noticed that every time I took a stroke in the paddle of my kayak, or with the paddle of my kayak, whatever this thing was taking a stride to each paddle I was taking. I stopped for a bit, and the sound stopped in the bush too, and I thought it was a bit odd. So I took off paddling again. And sure enough, as soon as I started to paddle every stroke, this thing would take a step. So whatever it was, this thing was following me, and it wasn't a coincidence or anything. It was more of a stalk. Freaked out, John took a snap and claims he captured the Dogman on camera. The creature, I actually got it in the photo. What I think it is, I've spoken to a few people, and I reckon it's a Dogman, he said. After that, I couldn't go back to the area to check it out for myself. I was petrified for probably months after. I'm going to look at this myself here. I can't really, I don't know. something. Okay. Although he was petrified. Darn, I had to breathe.
there?
John once again. What?
You okay?
Yeah, just breathing patterns. Although he was petrified, John once again returned to the bush for another fishing trip and says he heard a bit of a bang followed by the sound of someone or something running. As it was running, it was smashing trees out of the way. I don't know if they were breaking it or...
Hey.
I don't know if they were breaking. What?
Real quick, it just started raining here. I'm going to run out and make sure my car windows are up.
Oh, no! Yeah, go to it.
Go ahead and continue.
Okay. I don't know if they were breaking or it was hitting the... God, I hate reading and yawning. It sucks. I'm not getting enough air to my brain or whatever the heck it's called. I don't know. I could be just making that up. You couldn't see what the bush was like because it was so thick. John said the Dogman then started to roar as he spent 10 minutes trying to escape back to the car safely. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. It's terrifying. It would roar, then it would take a breath in, but then the breath it was taking was actually louder than the roar. This creature just went to another level, and it was crazy. I could hear in my head something say, "Go now, or you'll die." It wasn't my own voice, my own consciousness. It was something else. That 10 minutes was probably the longest in my whole life. I thought I was going to be killed. I had no weapons, didn't even have my fishing knife, no phone service. Despite his outlandish claims, John has insisted he's not barking up the wrong tree, with his suggestion of a Dogman existing and fears someone could get hurt. I'd heard about it, the Dogman, and thought it was a joke, but actually I've had encounters with it now, and it's terrifying, he said. I wouldn't be putting myself out showing these photos if it was fake, or I didn't know that there was actually something there. That's the main reason I came, which I'm trying to, I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, because it gets so pixelated when you zoom in on it.
Yeah.
Like, is it a tree branch? I mean,
right. Yeah, I'm not either, Kelly. That's the main reason I came forward. I'm worried and someone's going to go missing or get hurt. Yeah, that was actually last year, on the November 22nd.
Wow, that's more recent than my most recent one that I found. Like I said, I've got a list of other Dogman sightings. We can talk about these on the After Dark show. If you guys want to join us over there, we'll look at some more graphic pictures and talk about some of these other sightings. But what do you think it is? What do you think the Dogman is? Do you think this is something that's been here? Do you think this is something interdimensional? Do you think this is just something made up to scare little kids from going out into the woods? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah. Please do. Was your windows up?
Yeah, they were up.
Good. That's good.
Again, if you want to continue this conversation with us on the After Dark, you can just join the Patreon page. It's patreon.com/Boogeyman Radio. We will be live over there in 15 minutes at 9:15 is when we usually do that.
Wasn't there something else you were going to talk about?
Yeah, but we kind of blew past it. There's I'm going to do some ranting on a couple things over there as well, just because some things had popped up on my Facebook feeds, some things that I've seen that I did not necessarily agree with, and a lot of people did not necessarily agree with, including something that a location is trying to do, and or a post that a particular location tried to make.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty sad to see this kind of thing, but it's not surprising just because of the way the paranormal field has grown. Again, we'll talk about that on the After Dark show on Patreon. So for those of you not joining us over there, just going to say a big thank you for joining us tonight. And if you're watching this on the replay, thank you for watching. Again, Dogman, interesting topic, was needed to be done.
Oh, absolutely. I agree without a doubt. It's just there's many different examples all throughout history that you could Was this a Dogman? Was this this? Was this, whatever?
Yes.
The world may never know.
Real quick, Charles, what do you think it is? Do you think it's real, or do you think it's
aliens? What?
Do you think it's real, or do you think it's not real?
I mean, I could believe it. I could believe some form of like giant wolf out there wandering the world, and some people think it's part man, part wolf. To me, it would be definitely different than Sasquatch. Sasquatch would be its own thing. Yeah, I could see it being real. I mean, for crap's sake, we believe in aliens, so
I think there's a little logic to the alien thing, but as far as the Dogman is concerned, my look on it is I think there's a lot of misidentification that's going on, even if it's an actual Bigfoot being misidentified as a Dogman. So that's my take. Guys, catch the rest of the show over on Boogeyman Radio. Have a good night. We appreciate you for watching.
Take care, everybody.